Up there. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Nemo, this is Elevation Factor, and we put up content designed to uplift and inspire you to take even one step closer to your dreams. And today I'm going to do that by helping you be a better ally and get to that best version of yourself. And we're going to talk today about being a better ally to trans people, specifically. I'm making this for parents and guardians of trans people to understand why changing their name is important, why it's not an insult, and is an oftentimes vital step for that trans person to move forward with their journey. Start off, I'm going to explain to you basically a quote from someone I have in my life, and this is a real experience that I've had. This person said this was a gift that my partner and I gave to our child. I would feel insulted if they came to me and told me they wanted change. And I put a lot of thought and effort into this name that I thought was good for them. And so that is what I experienced, and obviously that's a frustrating thing. And I know for a lot of trans people, if your parents are feeling this way, it could be very challenging to stay calm and objective and try to explain to them what's actually going on without letting your emotions get tied up in it, because it's personal, it's happening to you. So I am going to create this video so you can send them the link after you walk away, process, do whatever you need to do, and hopefully we can spare some fights, maybe even save some relationships. Alright, so let's get into it. Most people have heard by now, if you know anything about the trans community, you often hear people refer to the name before they transition as sometimes their birth name. More often than not, I hear people refer to this as their dead name, as in that name is dead to them. It's longer relevant to their lives. It's for all intents and purposes dead. And know that this is not meant to insult you if you are the parent watching this. This is not meant to belittle any efforts or thoughts and care you put into that name. It's just a simple way to refer to, like, hey, this was used for me before. It's not relevant anymore. And more often than not, most trans people don't talk about their prior names because, again, it's not relevant. So I just wanted to put that out there so if you hear that terminology, you understand what it means. But what I'm going to do now is want to ignore my phone. Sorry if you heard that. I don't know why it's going off. But I want to explain to you with, I think, a helpful analogy why these names are important, and they are they are vital, and they're also, it's not an insult when your child wants to change their name to further their transition journey. So imagine you bought a pair of pants. Say you bought them like 2 years ago. You're going through your closet, you're taking stock, and you see this pair of pants. And maybe you want to make some alterations to it. Maybe it doesn't fit you right anymore. Or and something about it just doesn't suit your life now. Like, so it doesn't fit. You have a couple of options. You can go get it tailored if you're really attached to the pair of pants, which I know most people don't do. You can just like give it away, throw it away. You can do that, and yeah, it just doesn't fit you anymore. Or you can go out and get a new pair of pants. So some trans people, they might want to like modify their name and keep it pretty similar to the one they had before. Again, totally valid. They might not have such a problem with their name. They just want to update it the for the life they're living now, and like take it in more of their own personal style. And so they alter the pair of pants and say, hey, make it work for their life now instead of back then when the pants were purchased. And some people, they choose to get a new pair of pants. These old pair of pants didn't fit anymore. Uh, they just weren't their style at all. They had a completely different taste in fashion at this current moment, and so they need new pants to fit their lifestyle now. And again, also valid. And some people, well, they don't choose to change the pants. Some people are fine with that pair of pants that they had. I've not personally met anyone who didn't change their name, but some people, those pants still fit. They like the style, and they're just a slightly different person wearing them. They maybe rock them in a different way. They might like cuff the ankles if they're jeans, or maybe add a few rips, but it just fits them just fine. So, so I hope that makes sense. Basically, some people, uh, they they feel the need to transition. Me personally, I wanted a new name because I am living my life anew. I'm basically starting over, and I wanted to represent a more authentic and true version of myself. And like my old name was tied to a life that wasn't mine, and it wasn't true to who I am and was inside. And so it, for me, was just a symbolic transition that I personally needed. And that is true for some trans people and some of your kids out there. Some people do just need a new pair of pants. I'm sure you probably don't have the same wardrobe as you had in middle school or high school. Your style has probably changed a bit. And some people, they do want to keep their name, but they want to maybe just update it a little bit. Like, I had a friend who went by Rachel growing up, and now they go by Ray. And as far as I know, this person is not trans. They have not conveyed to me anything about that, but this is just a good example, like, of people. They liked their name just fine, but they went by this nickname often, and it feels better for them. So they go by Ray, or I think sometimes even Ray Ray, and that that is like a trans person altering or tailoring their pants to suit them now. The fit's fine, but the style's not quite where it's at for them anymore. However, it is salvageable, and some trans people, that's fine. And I know a lot of trans people who have a similar name to after they transitioned um, to before they transitioned. Like their birth name and their transition name are similar, just uh, there's a slight tweak in the transition name, and that's totally valid. And I'm sure some of you out there still fit into some of your clothes from high school, and maybe you add a few patches or you sew together some of the rips that you added to make it a little bit more classy, and that's fine. And then there are some of you out there, and again, totally valid, who fit perfectly into your pants from high school, and you just absolutely love of those those shiny black jeans, those really nice pants that you bought yourself when you were just feeling it. You were feeling good. You wanted to go shopping, and that's totally valid. You can have trans people who don't change their name, and it doesn't mean that people who do change it are invalid. It just means that for some people, the name does not represent something that doesn't fit them. It doesn't feel painful or wrong to still go by that name, which is an individual basis. And I didn't make this video to tell you which path is right for your child, or yourself if you're watching this and you are trans. I made this to help people who are struggling with their own feelings to understand where the trans person is coming from, especially for parents whose feelings and their ability or inability, or willingness or unwillingness to process those feelings can have devastating effects on their relationship with their child and the child themselves. I know because I went through it with my parents, and I want to make that easier, even just for one family. So I can see more people like the people I saw on TV who are reconnecting with their parents and having a beautiful relationship. That's what I want to have more of people able to process their feelings, either trans person or ally, so that they can maintain or develop better and healthier relationships. And I hope this video helps you with that, and just understand that, like, think about, like, when you gave your child this name, and I'm sure you gave it with a lot of love, and I'm sure it will be an adjustment for you to call them by another name. But just think about it this way: someone gives you a gift. They give you a sweater. They give you a pair of pants, and they could be someone very important to you who really loves you, and unfortunately they just didn't know your style, and you might keep it and put it in your closet. You might just tell them the truth, like, hey, I really appreciate this, um, but this isn't my style, and I don't want you to spend money on something I'm not going to wear there. So, oh, maybe you and I can, like, go out to lunch instead. We can return these, and we'll spend some time together there. And or you can just you can pretend to wear it and pretend to like it, which will create like false pretense and like a standard of lying in your relationship, which is unhealthy and uncomfortable. Oh, and I don't think I have to explain to you which is a more positive outcome for your relationship. And that's all you're just trying to do, is saying, hey, I appreciate the gift you gave me. It doesn't suit my life, but I still recognize the love you had, and I'm honoring that love by being true to myself, and, like, continuing to seek my own happiness and my own well-being, which is what I imagine you wanted from me when you gave me this gift in the first place, and is still necessary for me. So that's what they are doing when they are changing their name. And I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps you. Please ask any questions that you may have. I will do my best to answer them in the comments. And if you know me in person, I will also happily talk about this. And I wish you good luck. Keep striving to learn more and build yourself into the best possible ally or person you can be, and keep seeking better and healthier relationships with you and everyone you love. Alright, I will see you guys next week, and till then, take care.